Am I now friends with Logan Paul? Will anyone get the Apple Vision Pro headset? And will Starfield be one of the greatest games ever made? Well, I talk about all that and more on this episode of the Toddcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Todd McManus, on this very scalding hot summer Louisiana day. Is another day in the super heat. I don't know there was a joke there and I didn't know where to get it. But yeah, so I want to go ahead and dive into some topics here. First off, I want to say a big shout out to apparently a fan of mine who is now officially a fan without a doubt. I want to give it to Mr. Logan Paul. And, of course, his company Prime, who him and KSI work together on, and a lot of other great people that I don't know, but I know they're great because they make a dadgum good drink and good drink products like the energy drink and the little mixture sticks is what I call them. They all make good products out there. In the last episode I did with the Prime review, I actually posted a story on my Instagram story and the official Toddcast Instagram story, which you should follow at _Toddcast_. I posted a story and I actually tagged the Prime account, Logan Paul, and KSI, and I got a view on that story from Logan Paul. And, you know, as somebody who has been doing a podcast for such a long time, it is from one celebrity to another. I would like to thank Logan Paul for viewing my story, even though he does not follow me, which he should. After he viewed it, he, of course, that is the rule. If you view the story, you gotta follow the person. So Logan Paul, I'll be waiting for that. And also from the Prime account, too, because they viewed the story of me showing off that Logan Paul viewed my story. So Drink Prime and Logan Paul, I would appreciate the follow because you viewed my story and you disrespected me by not following my account. So I feel hurt. So I will be waiting for those follows very soon. So yeah, that was pretty cool that I got a company's account and Logan Paul with his almost 26 million followers to view my story, which is very cool. So I wanted to go ahead and go into some news here, and I have to talk about this, and I've been waiting to talk about this. So for those of you who don't know, Apple, the company Apple who makes iPhones and AirPods and Macs and all that kind of stuff, they're going to be releasing a new VR headset. And if you don't know what that is, which you should, but if you don't, it's basically, I feel like everybody knows what VR is. You know, it's got a little strap on it and you put it on your head like you would those little glasses that you put, not glasses, but those little like goggles that you put on when you go underwater. It's like that, but like a big brick on your face is what it is. You should Google it. So like Facebook or Meta, as they're called, who owns Facebook, they have their own Oculus Quest, which they have gotten rid of the Oculus part, which is just called the Meta Quest, which is highly regarded as the best VR headset in the market today. But Apple is dipping their toe into the water, and they want a little bit of the VR action. But their headset is a combination of VR and AR, with VR meaning virtual reality, and AR is augmented reality. And their headset looks cool. There is a 5 or 6 minute long video. Well, it's actually longer than that. I think it's actually like 9 minutes. It's almost a 10-minute long video on YouTube. You can look it up right now. It's called the Apple Vision Pro. And the video details what you do. You put it on and you're able to see through it. So it's like a clear glass piece that you can see through like sunglasses or goggles or anything. That means like you put it on and you can see a TV or your bed or your couch or whatever is in front of you, or like a person, and you're able to talk to them. But there's like a button or something that you can press and it brings up the apps that you normally would see on your iPhone, and like your photos or your text messages, FaceTime, anything like that. You can bring that up, as well as like the Safari app and all this other stuff. It's very cool because you're basically seeing these apps like floating in your house almost, which is a mixture of the VR and AR, And with VR being like you're submersed into the world, like there's video games that you just put the headset on and now you're in like medieval times, or you're in the future, or you're fighting off zombies in an apocalypse. And AR is the technology that you may know, like if you ever go on like Lowe's or what's another website, different websites, like furniture websites as well with companies, they have a button, and I think they even do this on like Zales or K with their rings and necklaces and all that you push a button and it'll say like, try this on, is what it is. And you push that and it goes to your camera and it'll actually show you this piece of furniture or whatever you're looking at, like let's say for a chair. And you're thinking you want to get this recliner, but you don't know how it's going to look in your house. If it's going to go along with the colors or, the aura or whatever, if you're like that, if you're that type of person and you're worried about that in your home or in your living room or your bedroom or wherever, you would turn the camera on and it would show this chair in your living room and be like, okay, let's move it here. Let's put it in this corner. Let's put it next to this table. And it would show you what that is. So that's what AR is, augmented reality. So it's a mixture of both while putting these apps basically floating in front of you that aren't really there. And you're able to see the real world through the headset. And like you can watch movies. Disney has teamed up with it, meaning you can watch Disney Plus there. So really, you almost really don't need a TV if you have this. As long as it connects to a good Wi-Fi source that you have, that's all you need. And as long as you, of course, have an Apple account, if you have an Apple iPhone, of course. But what got a lot of people on this is the price point. Because when you think of something like this, this has got to be, a couple $100. Probably, knowing Apple, it's got to be over $1,000. Because, the regular phone is just over $1,000 nowadays. Or like the watch, or the AirPods, or the headphones that they do. Or even like Macs are expensive too. I own a pair of AirPods and a phone. The iPhone 11 is what I actually have. And that's getting old now with... What is it, like the 14 or 15? I think it's the 15 coming out now. And they're going to be putting out like a new pair of AirPods by the end of the year or next year. And then they're going to have, that they have the headphones. They have these Macs that look cool. I've never owned a Mac before. I've only owned a Windows computer made by Microsoft. But they put out a lot of good products, but they were very expensive. Apple loves taking your money. So, when you think of this Apple Vision Pro, where you can see the world, you can see through it, and then you can see these apps, and somehow, like, selecting these apps, you think you might need a controller or a pen or something, like you might reach your finger out and touch on the app that's not really there, but you see it through the headset. That's not how that works. Apparently, you like squeeze your pointer and your thumb together, and it selects the app that you want to do, and it don't even show it. I don't understand it, but you'd have to watch the video to understand what I'm saying. But on the note of the price point, when you see this, and everything that I've said, I want you to picture in your head or take a guess. How much do you think this costs? You think this costs $1,000, $1,200, $1,500? Well, you would be surprised, because when they had the Apple event and there were people in the crowd and they showed the price point, people groaned and there were a couple boos, and some people were like, what? Because of how expensive it was. And the Apple Vision Pro headset will be releasing at the high price point of $3,499. That's right, you can spend $3,500 on a headset. That is insane. That truly is wild. And like, I think they said that they're going to try to do like a cheaper version around $2,000 or something. But the thought of it, $3,500 for a headset. And there was somebody that said, like 10, 15 years ago, you could spend $3,500 and get a used car for that price, back in, 2010 and before, in the early 2000s. But it looks very cool. I would like to have one, honestly. I would use it. I would love to have it. It just seems very cool, and you could use it and have, like, your own virtual workspace and all that kind of stuff. And, like, the whole video is cool. It's very futuristic and very cool because I'm a tech-savvy guy. I like it. I would love to have one. I am not spending $3,500 of my money on that. If it was cheaper, like, even if it was, I don't want to say that. I was going to say if it was $1,000, I might still buy it, but it's got to be under $1,000 for me to buy it because I'm cheap. But yeah, that is completely wild in my opinion that it's that expensive. So, yeah, I just had to talk about that because it wows me of how expensive that is. So, if you want to, comment down below or, submit an answer that, would you buy the Apple Vision Pro if it was cheaper? I mean, I think everybody would, but at that price point, $3,500, would you buy it? Like, I would buy it maybe if I won the lottery, but, that's a 1 in a billion chance of happening, so yeah, it's nuts, and I don't really, like, I understand of how the future stuff and of it going into it and all that, but yeah, it's way too expensive for most people to, like, the everyday person cannot buy that. They cannot afford that. You have to be an older person who has a lot of money, or just somebody who is younger but rich, or if you just have an extra $3,500 laying around, sure, buy it, But we all know one person who was in love with Apple products, and we know that person's probably going to try to get it. Because, I mean, you got to, right? So, with that being out of the way, I wanted to go into a little conversation about some games, because the Summer Game Fest is still going on, kind of, but the big showcases have already happened. That being the Microsoft showcase with Xbox, and of course, the company Bethesda. Now, I want to talk about this because they released some footage and some gameplay, a very long gameplay video that was like 40 minutes long about the game called Starfield. And I've talked about Starfield on here before. And this video game intrigues the heck out of me because it is going to be so big and so many planets, and it's made by Bethesda, which is the company that makes the Elder Scrolls Skyrim game and other Elder Scrolls games like Oblivion and Morrowind, and also all of the Fallout games, Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4, New Vegas, the mobile game Fallout Shelter, it's a cool game too. But they have made all of these games, and they decided to make a new series, I guess you could call it, or a new IP, which is in space, and it's called Starfield. Now, this is basically like Star Wars, but not Star Wars, if you know what I'm saying. It's like it. It's got, alien species and different planets, and it's like over 1,000 planets and 100 solar systems. And it kind of reminds me of the No Man's Sky video game, which is, many different planets driving around in space in a spaceship. And, it's a very cool gameplay video. If you're interested in video games, I would highly recommend it. It's going to be on Game Pass day 1, the day it comes out on September the 6th. And I am very excited to play it. So, I won't go too deep into it, but I wanted to go into the next game I want to talk about, which is a game called Star Wars Outlaws. Now, this game is also going to be kind of like it's going to be a big open world game, because this game is actually made by Ubisoft, and they made the Assassin's Creed games and the Far Cry games. And I am very excited about this. It's probably going to be releasing next year. Don't know a specific day yet, and I think this will also be releasing day 1 on Game Pass when it finally comes out next year. They released a gameplay trailer for this. It was a little over 10 minutes, I think. You can check that out if you want to. It's on YouTube. But I really liked it. It's going to be taking place in between episodes 5 and 6, which is The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And I'm just very excited to see what story they have. Apparently you're going to be, I forget her name, you're going to play as this woman who is like a bounty hunter, or she works in the underworld, dealing with like, okay, got to capture this guy, got to go steal this stuff, got to go kill this guy, different things like that. That way they can earn money for bounties and getting stuff and working, underground type stuff and trying to stay away from the Empire because they're getting huge, because Han Solo was frozen in carbonite already, so the rebels look like they're pretty much losing at this point. And you're probably going to encounter Darth Vader, because you always do in these games. But it's going to be open world, meaning you can go anywhere you want, even when you're not doing a mission. You can walk around, go to different planets and stuff like that, which is very intriguing. And that's something that I'm always wanted in a Star Wars game for a very long time now. So yeah, I'm very excited about that, to see what they do with it, and looking forward to what they actually can bring to the Star Wars universe from Ubisoft. So, and all the other Star Wars games is going to be happening in the future as well. So, a little Disney Plus news, because these two series are going to be on Disney Plus. That for Star Wars, the Ahsoka series premieres on Disney Plus on August 23rd. And it's going to be a weekly show on there. It is going to be a really good show. I'm looking forward into it. It's going to take place around like the Mandalorian times of its show, and then there's going to be probably a big movie that Dave Filoni is going to direct. It's going to be, the culmination, an Avengers-style movie where all the characters are going to come together to fight against Thrawn, and Thrawn's going to be the villain of this show, and some people from the Star Wars Rebels show is going to be in this show as well. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to watch it, and I will let y'all know if it's worth the watch, if you want my opinion before you watch it. And also for Marvel, this past Wednesday actually, on June 21st, the new series Secret Invasion, which is a Marvel series. It's been a while since we had a Marvel series. Come on. This Marvel series, of course, like I just said, is called Secret Invasion. It has got Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury, and Emilia Clarke, who I don't know who she plays, but she was Daenerys Targaryen. She was the Dragon Queen from Game of Thrones. She's going to be in this show as well, and it's going to be like about the Skrulls, and I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it's going to be a good show. I'm going to watch it. I haven't had the chance to watch it yet, but I'm definitely going to have to check it out, because it definitely looks like a pretty good show. So, with all that, there's not much else happening right now. But I do have 2 things that I want to review real quick on here. If you have anything that you would like for me to review, whether it's a drink, food, snack, candy, or a meal from like a limited time meal from a restaurant or something, you can submit those in the comments on my YouTube channel down below. If you aren't listening to this on YouTube, you can go down to the link in the description, tap or click on that. It'll take you to my YouTube channel, and in the comments you can leave your item that you would like for me to review, as well as a question, and I will definitely get back to those on a future episode. So I've got 2 items here that I'm going to be reviewing. Both of these were brought to me, and let's open this one first. This is the Kars, Kars, Sweet and Salty Mix, and it is a trail mix, apparently. So it has peanuts, cocoa candies, raisins, and sunflower kernels. So this is the first trail mix I've ever had on an episode of the Toddcast. But it is quite rank. I am not that big of a fan. I'm not a big fan of raisins. But I will try one. So, first thing I'm going to try, I guess, is a raisin. So there's a crap ton of them in here. So, let's go ahead and try this raisin. I'll try one of everything to give it a fair rating. So, raisin. Oh. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, I don't like raisins. I don't know, that did not taste good. So, but we also have peanut, so I'm going to give a peanut a try. Oh yeah, that's a good peanut. They got cashews. No, I think it's just regular peanuts, not even cashews. I love me some peanuts. So let me dig up in here. We got cocoa candies, which is just an M&M that doesn't have an M on it. So, yeah, that's just an M&M. Where did trail mix come from? Because to me, the idea of saying everything individually is weird. Like, hey, let's get a bag and let's put peanuts, M&Ms, and raisins in it, and let's sell it like that. And just call it trail mix. Like, is this something you should eat when you're hiking or something? Like, I don't understand it. What else is in here? Sunflower kernels. Well, I don't see any sunflower kernels in here, so I think I got missed out on that. Oh, is that what these things are? I could eat these? Not much flavor. I think the peanuts are the best thing. That and the M&Ms are the best thing in here. I'm going to give it points because the M&Ms and the peanuts are really good. The sunflower kernels are okay. They don't really have any flavor, so that's not anything against it. I don't like raisins, so I'm going to hold that against it. I would give this, on the scale from 0 to 100 with no decimals, I could give this like a 75. It's pretty good. I like it, like I said, peanuts and M&Ms are really good. Unless you have a peanut allergy, or if you're allergic to M&Ms. Everybody knows. I'm just going to keep eating these peanuts. Everybody knows peanuts are good. Like I said, unless you're allergic. But, yeah. I would give a 75 to this trail mix only because there's way too many raisins in here. There's raisin heavy in this trail mix bag. But yeah, I don't like raisins, so that's a done deal. Don't recommend raisins because I'm not going to eat them. I'm not going to buy them either because I don't like it. So, the next thing I have here, I really don't know where these came from. Oh, these came from Tennessee. That's all I know. From a county market. And these are called bacon and cheddar chip nuts. So, and they're in like a clear container that you would get strawberries in or something. So they're very yellowy. They kind of look like little cheese balls, but I think that's what these are. These are bacon and cheddar coated peanuts is what these look like. So, and they're all ball shaped except this one that I'm looking at right now where I can just see the inside of it. It looks like it got cut in half. So, bacon and cheddar chip nuts. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Okay. Oh. I can taste the bacon. The bacon is there. It's very cheddar cheese forward. Interesting. Oh, I think eating too many gets to you. Oh, yeah. I'll try one more. Okay, that's interesting. It tastes like... What's it taste like? It's like that cheese pot. No, I know exactly what this tastes like. It tastes like cheddar cheese Pringles. That's exactly what this tastes like. Oh, imagine the Oh, they're getting to me. I'm going to die from the bacon cheddar chip nuts. Imagine the flavor of the cheddar cheese Pringles if that was like on a peanut. And that's what this is. That's what these are. And like, they're not bad. I mean, they leave the bad cheese aftertaste in your mouth because it's cheddar cheese, which is super strong anyway by itself. But other than that, I mean, they're pretty okay. I mean, I would probably eat them, but not a lot at one time because I just couldn't handle it. But yeah, bacon cheddar chip nuts. I'm going to give y'all... I'll give you a 72. Only because I liked the trail mix better because it had the peanuts and the M&Ms that are really good. These are just, the bacon and cheddar chip nuts alone by itself is just super, overpowering, and it's very cheddar cheese forward. And like I said, it just tastes extremely close to cheddar cheese Pringles, which, I mean, as a kid, were my favorite. I love them cheddar cheese Pringles back in the day. So, Carr's Trail Sweet and Salty Trail Mix at a solid 75, and Bacon and Cheddar Chip Nuts at a 72. So, like I said before, if you have a question or any food item you would like for me to review in the future, please comment it down below. And I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. As always, please rate and subscribe. And if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. And make sure you follow the Toddcast on Instagram for all your updates and Toddcast needs. And tell your friends and family to give it a listen. And thank all of you for listening to this episode. And you want to know what's going to happen next week? We're just going to tune in to find out. Only on the Toddcast.